Good evening, everybody. This is Andrew McLaughlin with the National Truck Driving School, and I want to welcome everybody to our Tuesday night webinar. I just got off the phone with Mr. Rob Nelson. He's our usual host. He's running a little bit behind, and I spoke earlier with Holly McDonald from Rogers Cartage, and Holly has had back surgery. I do have her presentation. We're going to show that. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. We have tonight, I'm going to learn about Rogers Cartage, great tanker company. Before we get started now, what I'd like to do is to kind of go over a little bit of the control panel with you. You could be watching this on your computer, your laptop, your tablet, or even on your telephone. And if you wanted to do it on your phone, you just go to joingotomeeting.com and it'll download for you. You're going to see there's a few controls that you can use. The first one we're going to look at is the orange microphone. I see some of you have called in on the phone. Others of you are calling in using your microphone on your telephone or your computer. We are in the listen-only mode for the first part of the webinar tonight, and then we're going to open up the phone lines and see if you want to ask any questions about national training or Rogers Cartage company. Okay. The next one underneath that, number 2, is a little hand icon. I'm going to ask everybody to go ahead and click on the hand. This lets us know that you can hear us okay. If I can get everybody to click on the hand. Thank you, Tavon. Tavon, you were the first one in tonight. Thanks very much. Everybody else see that hand? Bill, thank you. Thomas, excellent. Excellent. Will, Rhodes, thank you very much. Smitty, all right, very good. Tom, all right, good. And I can put all of those hands down in one quick stream like that. So if I go too fast for you tonight, or you want me to cover something in a little bit more detail, just go ahead and raise your hand. Also on that control panel, you're going to see a little question sign. There's a little box there. We could use that as a chat box if you don't want to talk in front of a lot of people online. We understand that. You could type your questions in, and we have some people watching the question board, and they'll answer the questions for you. Okay. I think that's pretty much most of what we want to talk about there. We are not going to use the cameras tonight. We are broadcasting some rural areas with not great internet, so putting the cameras on knocks a lot of the quality out. So we're going to wait with that. All right, quick history of who we are here at National Training. We're incorporated back in 1978, so we're just a little bit over 40 years old as a post-secondary vocational educational institution. We do truck driving. We also do heavy equipment operating. And we're committed to provide a very strong curriculum for our students. It's not just holding the steering wheel between the two white lines. Our programs emphasize practical, usable skills blended with relevant general education foundation. And also life skills are in there. It's a very caring environment with personal attention and a very close faculty-student interaction. Our truck driving classes are they're only between 8 and 16 students. So it's a 1-to-4 ratio with the instructor. Our percentage rate of placement is right at 99%. Okay, so if you have a desire to do this, you will get hired. And we do have an open door admissions policy. The class that we're talking about tonight is going to start on March the 25th. The next class after that is going to start on April the 22nd. So we are Florida's oldest private truck driver training school. We have a state-of-the-art training facility. We have a 1.25-mile private highway. This ensures safer and more efficient training. So our students are going to learn to drive 9-speed transmissions, 10-speed transmissions, automatics, and they're going to learn how to upshift, how to downshift, and how to stop on our private highway before we ever go out onto the public road, which is usually at the end of week 2. Our graduates, we have over 38,000 graduates since 1978. I get the question all the time, why should I drive a truck for a living? Once we hear a little bit about Rogers Cartage and some of the other trucking companies out there, I love to drive. It's great money. I get to see the country. I get paid to do it. Right now, there's a huge truck driver shortage. There's a big concern to the economy. Pretty much 99% of everything that's in stores or in your house came off of a truck. Okay, so truckers are very important. The big part about being a trucker, though, is job security. We went through this recession over this past 8-10 years. We're basically coming out of it now, but you didn't hear truck drivers getting laid off. Okay, so there's a lot of job security in driving a truck. There's lots of different types of trucks to drive out there. There's the regular van trailers, there's tankers, there's flatbeds, there's intermodal, coming from the off the train, off the airports, okay, intermodal. There's local driving, there's regional driving, over the road driving, there's road warriors, lots of different types of driving jobs out there. Now, as I said, our students are going to learn on the equipment that we have, and we have equipment that's new to old and everything in between. You're going to learn 9-speed, 10 speeds, automatics. We have a lot of equipment there. We're only just showing 5 different types here, all different makes, all different models, all different types of transmissions. So lots of experience there as well. I want to show you what some of the inside of some of the newer trucks look like today. This is a typical work truck right here. So you get hired on with a company. This is typically what you're going to get. Here's the passenger seat here will actually spin around 360 degrees. The bunk, this is a bunk, and then another bunk pulls down. Just a nice working truck. Take a look at this particular one. The trucks today, they're not like they were 20 years ago. They all have air ride seats, things like that. The lumbar support, all of these different buttons. It's all about keeping the driver to stay with your particular company. I have some people online tonight that I know are already drivers, and they own their own truck. This is an example of an owner-operator truck, just a gorgeous truck. So he really pimped it out pretty nice, and that's what he uses. Typically, though, getting back to a regular company truck would be this. I like this configuration because it has the table that comes up. It still has the double bunks, okay? Extra light to come in, things like that. Nice. And then here's an owner-operator. And you notice what he has there. He has a tablet because now paper logs have pretty much gone by the wayside. Everything now is electronic logs, right? Now, we still teach paper logs because it's easier to understand the electronic ones if you know how to do it on paper. And sooner or later, this electronics will crap out on you, and then you're going to have to do it on paper. So we teach both here at the school. Now, different types of driving jobs. We talked about over the road. We talked about regional, local. Some guys like to be out for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. Some just 2 weeks. Some guys want to stay out 4 or 5 nights a week and be home every weekend. You can do that. Some people like to be in their own bed every night. There's lots of different ways to drive a truck today. Haul freight of all different types. You can remain primarily in a specified area of the country. Typically, if you're going to be a regional driver, that might consist of 5 states, 5 bordering states. You're never really more than 1,200 miles from home. Most of these companies offer weekly home time, great pay, steady runs, And company benefits, the health insurance, the life insurance, the 401ks. These are all big, big things. Driver pay scales today. This is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. General freight, talking about $41,250 as the average, or about $19.83. I just saw the new statistics for 2016 just came out, and this went up to $21.64 from 19. Because they're always a few years behind figuring out all of the money. So about $21.65. To make $700, $800, $900, $1,000 a week is not hard in this industry. Okay, solo drivers will drive somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 miles a week. Team drivers will do 6,000 plus per week. Okay, so if you're making 30 cents a mile and you're doing 6,000 miles, that's a bunch of money in it. Let's say 3,000 miles at 30 cents is $900 a week. Pretty good money. If you're going to be a team driver, team drivers make the most amount of money, right? That truck can roll 24 hours a day, or 23 hours a day, right? You can only drive 11 hours in a 24-hour period, and you got an hour for fueling and things like that. So that truck can actually roll 23 hours a day. The school qualifications, these are things that you need to know about. What we do here at the school, once we get your information, we're going to send you out a course catalog. We're going to send you the qualification form. So what are we looking for there? We're looking for the driving record. We're going to look at your criminal background, physical ability. You have to take a drug test the very first day of class. And most important, we want to know what your intensity is to succeed. We want to ensure that you can benefit from this training before you start. The idea is, are we going to be able to get you a job? Not all of the qualifications have to do with your background, okay? Sometimes it's medical, sometimes it's different things that you're looking to do, okay? So work with your representative and they'll help you go through that. This school is 4 weeks long. You start out with a pre-trip. You're going around that 1.25 mile highway that we have. Then you're going to start working in the backing pad and learning how to back up. And then by the end of the second week, now you're ready to go out into the public roadways. Here's an instructor the very first day with you, showing you exactly what each one of those gauges do, why you're looking at them, and what are the different cutoff valves that you have to worry about as a tractor trailer driver. I want to show you a good shot of the training facility, an aerial view. And this is our 1.25 mile highway that I was telling you about. This is just gorgeous. 1.25 miles. You can get up to 50 miles an hour here, so you can go all the way up, all of the different speeds of the truck, and all the way down again. Half the class will be on the track. The other half of the class will be on the backing pad. Towards the end of the second week, now the groups of 4 are going out onto the private roadways, city, state, and local highways. Okay, this is our testing pad. We are third-party testers here at the school, so you're not going to have to go to the DMV and take a test with them. You can do that right here at the school. And because you've been around for the 4 weeks, you pretty much know the testers. They come out, they talk to you, and you'll feel pretty comfortable about passing your state exam. Most important thing we do here at National Training is our career services, our placement department. We've been perfecting our graduate work to work program for over 38 years, and it really does work. They start with you the very first day. We have our own job boards. If you've gone to our website now, I've linked some of the jobs right to our website. You can go to truckschool.com/jobs, and we put new jobs up there almost every day. And these would be above and beyond the companies that we have come in, like our company tonight, Rogers Cartage. That's actually a picture of Heather, not Heather, of this girl right here is actually Holly McDonald from Rogers Cartage. Like I said, she won't be on tonight because of her back surgery, but she does come and visit the classes. So if you don't get her here tonight, she will be there when you're in school. We have about 7 or 8 different companies that we rotate into the classes. Most of our graduates have 3 to 5 job offers before they even graduate. We do one-on-one private counseling. Not everybody's coming to the school for the same reason. It's not a cookie cutter here. Some people, want to go work in the Arctic or out in the oil fields in North Dakota or Texas. Others want to be home every night. Some want to work regional. So not everybody in your class is going to want the same thing. Okay. This is our job board. And so in here, it actually goes down 3 layers. It brings you the ad, then it tells you about the company, and then it'll even dig down even further to the person who's going to interview you. Okay, so our job board, we're pretty happy with the way that whole thing works. And again, you can see some of this on our website at truckschool.com/webinar/jobs. I get a lot of people I see online tonight. We have people online from Texas, from Alabama. I hope you guys made it okay through your tornadoes yesterday. Pennsylvania, I see New York, quite a bit of Florida. We have students that come in from all over the country, and those students, when they come here for the 4 weeks, they need a place to stay. So we have a motel that we do business with. It's called the Green Cove Springs Inn. Okay. The rooms are double occupancy, so you share a room with another student. Refrigerator, microwave, air conditioner, TV, telephone. It's about $26 a night. Now, the tuition for the school, it's very reasonable. It's $6,495. It's a little bit less than most of the others. We have all different types of financing plans. Most of the companies that we place with also do 100% tuition reimbursement. Okay, and you're not signing a contract with them that you have to stay with them for a year and work for low money. Nope. You can go to any company that you want. You want to leave, you can leave. When you leave, though, you want to make sure you're getting at least another penny to cover the tuition reimbursement. Okay, so it's that simple. After all, we've been doing this for a very, very long time. It's all good. We have it all. We have the companies, and we have the jobs. We have the industry recognition from all over the country. We have impeccable governmental relationships. We have guaranteed tuition financing for everyone. So don't let the money keep you from coming. The thing that's going to keep you from coming is not being able to get a job. We have over 38,000 graduates that possibly came here before you tonight. We have a program that's really fun to complete. And most of all, we have an awesome, awesome training facility. That 350 acres, I've never seen anything else like it. We appreciate all of our students from the Department of Veterans Affairs, our post 9/11 GI Bill, our Department of Vocational Rehab students, our state and vocational workforce and workforce programs, WIOA. We accept all of those programs. The Bureau of Indian Affairs, all the different tribes, they send all of their people to national because they know that they're going to get work. A lot of the other schools out there, 3-week programs or 4-week programs, 15 to 30 hours of hands-on training. At national, you're getting 120 hours of hands-on training. So it's a pretty big deal. Now, national is, the trucking companies come to national training because we put out very good drivers. And tonight, we're going to talk about Rogers Cartage. And I know Holly McDonald for a lot of years. Holly was a recruiter with Comcar Industries. They're an excellent company. But again, she moved on. She went to a different company. And I want to just bring her PowerPoint up real quickly here. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about Roger Cartage, and from the beginning. Hold on one second. It's on the wrong screen here. I'm not sure how to move it. Let me. All right, I'm going to start it right from the beginning. Right, we'll do it right from here. Okay, so Roger Cartage. Think about this company. Build your career within a growing industry. I had a talk with Holly, and she told me she couldn't come on tonight. She's a little bit doped up with her back surgery. I told her, I said, you like working there? She goes, yeah, she loves it. It is a family-run company. Basically, they got a terminal manager. They got 2 driver managers that handle all of the drivers in their yard. 80% of all transported goods are moved by truck. This is miles ahead of other modes: air, rail, and water. Trucking is responsible for 6% of all jobs in America, with more than 5.1 million individuals employed as truck drivers. This is larger than any other single employer in the world and is steadily increasing. So, basically, in one of the presentations that I always do, I talk about 1 in every 10 paychecks in America come from trucking. The ATA estimates that over the next decade, the trucking industry will need to hire. Let me make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing here. Well, maybe you are seeing it. Yeah, you are seeing the right one. Good. Okay. All right. We're back. Okay. Good. Did that. Okay. The ATA average of 8,900 per year. Replacing retired truck drivers will be far the largest factor, accounting for nearly half of the new drivers hired. The second largest factor will be the industry growth, which is projected to grow by 21% by next year. Currently, there are less than 10% of the drivers we need in our industry actually being trained to obtain the CDL. What does that mean for you? Okay. The Tank Star, which is Roger Cartage, family of companies consists of a wholly owned subsidiary, Schwerman Trucking Company, Roger Cartage, North American Bulk Transport, and Bulk Logistics. So those are the companies under the Roger Cartage name. Dating back to 1913, so it's 80-something years old, the company's history is filled with innovations that have shaped the bulk transportation industry, such as inventing the very first bulk unloading trailer. Through several business acquisitions, Tank Star has become the largest carrier of cement, as well as other major transporters of various liquid commodities. Today, we continue to grow with the Tank Star family throughout the United States. We offer a commitment to provide the best services available, to offer quality service, and as a leader of our complicated industry takes many dedicated, innovative, and hardworking people who know and perform their jobs very well. We believe that you are one of those hardworking people and encourage you to join this family. So they come in and they use this. Jacksonville, and she told me, if you guys, just by a show of hands, how many people here in Jacksonville online with us? Go ahead and just raise your hand. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, about 14, 15, 17. Okay. Jacksonville is one of the terminals that they're looking to hire right now. Okay. And she told me basically all of Jacksonville is strictly liquid chemical. As a liquid chemical driver, your loads will consist of products such as hydrogen peroxide, polymers, resins, adhesives, latex, etc. You'll carry these products for well-known customers such as Oxy, Hinkle, Ashland, and Reichhold. Okay, they do believe in home time. She told me that almost all of our drivers will be 2 weeks out, have 3 or 4 days at home, and then be out again. Now, the other thing she told me, which was interesting that I don't hear a lot of with a lot of the companies, is because it's a small mom and pop type of trucking company or family business. It's not really that small, but a family business. If you had a doctor's appointment, they're going to make for that doctor's appointment. Or if you have an appointment or a birthday that you have to be at, as long as you let them know ahead of time, they'll make that work out for you. Where in some of these other bigger companies, you're out there on the road, and they say you're going to be back in 2 weeks, and then they want you to drop one more load, and it turns into 3 weeks and 4 weeks. So home time for Rogers Cartage is an important thing. System drivers commit to 10 to 14 days out, 2 to 3 days home. Driver may extend the time out if they want to. The work is readily available, so they got plenty of work there. The terminal location is Jacksonville, Florida, and again, that's what Holly is looking to hire for right now. Brunswick, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Mobile, Alabama, Calera, Alabama, and Williston, Florida. Basically, she told me all of the states east of the Mississippi, that's where Rogers Cartage is working. Now, the pay scale in the liquid system, so the chemicals like we're talking about here, less than 300 miles paid at 25% of the line haul revenue. This is different than a lot of companies as well. This is a good thing. Anytime you can get a percentage of the line haul, you're making money. Liquid over 300 miles CPM, the combination with flat rate for loading, unloading, tank wash, activity, and related events. So the first year, 50 cents per mile. The second year, 51. Third year, 52. Fourth year, 53. And the sleeper team operation is 55. So really, you're talking about $1.10 there, right? Because it's a team. 55 cents each. Very, very nice work here. So if we're talking about being out for 6 to 10 days and you're at 50 cents per mile, okay? 50 cents per mile. If you're doing, 5,000 miles a week, it's $2,500. So nice work. Live loads, they also pay an extra $25. Live unloading, another $25. TW, I'm not sure what that is. Hook and secure, $8. Drop for a customer unload, $8. If you have hourly rate, sometimes, if you're broken down at detention, they're going to pay you at $18 an hour. An hourly training rate, after you graduate from us here at National and you go to them, they're going to put you with a driver trainer, but they're going to pay you $15 an hour for your driving time. Orientation and training at Rogers Cartage, drivers will attend orientation at the Jacksonville terminal and will complete a 1 or 2 day of online modules paid at the hourly rate of $15 an hour. Upon completion of the orientation, drivers will train a minimum of 2 to 6 weeks with a certified driver trainers at the rate of $15 an hour. If drivers are from out of the area, terminals will provide a hotel at no cost to the driver, so they're picking that up. All right, as a meal allowance, so pretty good money there. Pretty good money there with Rogers Cartage. PPE. Rogers Cartage this is personal protection equipment, will issue you your PPE, personal protection equipment, at no cost to you. When it is due for a replacement, Rogers Cartage will replace it again at no cost to you. You can't go on to certain properties. You can't drive your tank or onto certain properties unless you show that you have protection equipment. So the goal is to train our drivers properly, safely, and set them up to successfully earn. Williston, Florida. Okay, they have dry bulk and pneumatic jobs there. Pneumatic tankers are going to haul dry bulk cement home daily within 250-mile radius of Williston, Florida. Do we have anybody close to Williston online with us tonight? Go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody there. Monday to Friday, and you can work every other Saturday. Operating within Florida and Georgia, multiple loads per day, no set schedule. 23% of that line haul revenue. Again, this is always a good thing when you can get a percentage of the line haul revenue. $800 to $1,000 weekly average. No endorsements are necessary, which that surprises me a little. You're going to be driving a pneumatic. Orientation paid hourly. Okay, instead of the $15 for like they do in Jacksonville, it's $12 in Williston. Training max of 10 days and paid holidays, hourly rate of $12. So again, it's a lot easier work, doesn't pay as much. All right, the benefits, and this would be for all parts of the company. Health insurance, PPO, and QHD plans. It begins 30 days after employment. So if you get employed on the 1st of March, the next first of the next month, you're covered. They got dental, vision, company paid life insurance, $25,000 at no cost to the driver, but you have the ability to buy additional insurance if you go to work for them. They have 7 paid holidays, $18 an hour for 8 hours is the way that they pay that. Other companies, sometimes they'll pay whatever your average is per week, and break it down that way. Vacation, 1 year, 1 week, 2 years, 2 weeks, 10 years, 3 weeks, 20 years, 4 weeks. 401k, 50% on the dollar up to the first 3%. Guys, that's free money right there. You got to do the math of how much you can afford to put away towards your 401k. That 3% is pretty good. They have a military apprentice program for veterans, National Guard members, reservists, each an additional benefit check for up to $1,266 per month. Now, the way I understand this, it's the apprentice program basically works with your post 9/11 GI Bill. You have 36 months, and basically in the apprentice program, you'd be buying down your GI Bill at $1,266 per month, and usually you could do that for a year. Okay, but if you're if you're going to give it to your kids and things like that, that might not be the way you want to go. Okay, because you are eligible for up to $21,000 per year over the 36 months, over the 3 years. Military, okay, we did that. $500 driver referral bonus, as high as $2,000 on a specific position. Now, they stole that one from us here. We have a student referral bonus here. If you're a graduate and you refer another student, we pay you $500. They stole that from us. And, of course, they have a weekly direct deposit. The equipment that they use there are Freightliners, Volvos, Kenworths. They're all 5 years or newer. All company trucks are automatic transmissions. and are governed at 65 miles per hour. All those maintenance shops or at all those terminals that we talked about, they use the fuel cards at T-Check. Can be used at major truck stops, Love's, Flying J, Pilot. As far as the LEDs, they're using PeopleNet. A lot of the other companies are using Qualcomm. I met with the AT&T version of LEDs today. We might do something with them at the school with pre and post-trip capabilities. So basically, you take your tablet out and you're doing your pre-trip right there from your tablet. Turn-by-turn directions, collision warning systems. These are fantastic. TankStar APUs. Drivers get the latest company information along with the access to HOS, current trips, pay history, safety performances, dispatch forms. It's your truck. They don't do slip seating there. Additional information, passenger program. They do not allow passengers. So if you wanted your loved one to come and drive with you, you would not be able to do that. And that's basically whenever you're doing tanker, most of the places that you're going to deliver to have that policy. It's only the person that has that hazmat endorsement and the, a lot of times you're also going to have a TWIC card. No pets for the same reason. And the tuition reimbursement, this one is a little lower than most, it's $3,500. So it'll pay about a little over half of the tuition here at National. Qualifications, you got to be at least 21 years of age. You got to have a CDL. You get that right through us here at the school. An acceptable motor vehicle report, verifiable 3-year work history. If you're already a driver, and we have some people that have already been drivers, then you need a 10-year work history, okay? You got to be able to read, write, and speak English well enough to do your job. Yeah, of course, you got to pass the DOT physical. You'll take a drug test at the school. We talked about that, but then you're going to take another drug test at the company, okay? And a minimum of a 1-year physical. So sometimes I have a student that comes in, and the doctor might give him a 6 months physical. You couldn't go work for this company. It's a minimum of a year. The maximum DOT physical is 2 years. A criminal history, each applicant is reviewed on an individual basis. So where before, if you had felonies and DUIs, basically you were out of a lot of companies. But because of the shortages today, they're looking at each one of those applications very, very carefully. And if they think that they can do something with you, they will. The endorsements, you're going to get Tanker, Hazmat X, TWIC at applicable terminals, as I said that, and company reimburses when required. So sometimes I get students who come in and say, hey, I want to get my Hazmat and my TWIC, even before they have the job. Well, I'm going to, and I tell them every time, wait, and your company will reimburse you. If you go there with the company, they're not going to reimburse you. So you want to wait and get that when the company says that you need it. Okay, and you can email Holly McDonald at hmcdonald@tankstar.com. You can leave her a message at 904-757-7766. I know that she told me tonight that her last surgery didn't go well, and she's going for another one on Monday. I believe if you go to the website, there's an online link that you can actually go ahead and download the application right then and there, or you wait for her to come to the school, and she'll tell you a little bit more than what we talked about this. I'm going to just throw this quick poll out there right now. Are you more interested in truck driving, heavy equipment operating, or auto hauling? And there's a reason they're asking me to do this. You get everybody to vote there? All right. Very good. All right. So let me go ahead and close that out. Let me also close that out again. Would you like a representative to call you either about truck driving or heavy equipment, or Rogers Cartage? I can pass that on as well to them. Very good. Will Rhodes has got a question. Will, what is an auto haul? Good question, Will. Pretty much auto hauler. If you've been to our websites, we have a truck driving school, we have a heavy equipment school, and we also have an auto hauler program. So once you had 2 years experience, at 2 to 3 years of over the road experience, the next step up would be auto haulers. And auto haulers, what we teach in that course is those 9 and 10 car parking lots that deliver cars to the dealerships. They come off the ship. You deliver those cars. And we teach you how to load them on those auto haulers. Those guys start out between $90,000 and $120,000 a year for auto hauling. So a very cool program there. If anybody else has any other questions, go ahead and raise your hand, and I will. One there. All right. So any questions at all? Let me close this up. There. We got some people that want us to call, some that don't. That's great. We respect that. All right. Very good. Just going to throw this one out to you as well. How long have you been thinking about driving a truck? 1 year, 2 years? Very nice. 50-50. We're at 50-50 right now. All right. Very good. All right. I got a couple other things. If there's no questions, I don't see any hands up. The next thing that I want to talk about is this coming Saturday. The next webinar is going to be paper transport on March the 26th at 6:30. And then this Saturday, between 9 and 12 o'clock, we're going to have an open house at the school. We're going to have an open house at the school. Okay, you're welcome to come down. You'll get a ride in the trucks. There's going to be a couple of trucking companies there that are more than happy to talk to you and maybe even give you a pre-hire right there and then. You will be able to enroll under a special offer on Saturday as well. So if you have the time, if you're 100 to 200 miles, it's worth the trip to come down, see the 350 acres, and everybody will get a chance to drive a truck. We'll be able to also go out into the heavy equipment field, play with some bulldozers or excavators, whatever we have there. Just kind of show people what's out there in the industry today. Any questions? Go ahead and raise your hand. I want to thank everybody for attending on the National Trucking Driving webinar. We do try to have these almost all Tuesday nights. Our next webinar is next Wednesday for heavy equipment. Next Wednesday is our heavy equipment webinar at 6:30, and you can find that at earthmoverschool.com, earthmoverschool.com. If you have any, contact your representative or our admissions office first thing tomorrow. Our number is 1-800-488-7364. Your lost time is costing you big money. It's all good. Just make sure you call. So it's very easy to get off the webinar tonight. All you need to do is to go up to File, Exit, Leave Webinar. Thank you, everybody, for coming. For those that are ask for a call back, tomorrow morning you guys will get a call back. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. William, you got a question?